As a CEO that leads an organization in a very competitive market space, the one thing that I value tremendously in my organization, and I certainly share it as a piece of advice to colleagues, is to ensure that you retain the highest level of fluency possible in your organization. And so what do I mean by fluency? If your organization is augmented or relies on intelligent exponential technologies like artificial intelligence, as the CEO of the business, you need to understand the utility and the commercial application of these technologies in a reasonably good level of detail. You don't have to be technically proficient in them, but you need to understand the utility and the commercial application of those technologies. You need to understand how they're going to progress or how they progress, how they impact your workforce and the skills that you'll require in order to remain competitive. And then I think you also need to develop a view on how to lead with courage in an environment where perhaps younger, less experienced people are coming into your organization with a lot more technical skill. Without a decent level of fluency as a CEO, you cannot contribute positively to the formulation of a strategy. You cannot participate in the effective deployment of that strategy. And even worse, I think if there's a competitive attack on your business, it's difficult to respond unless you know how to respond effectively. Our knowledge decays at a rate of about 30 to 50% a year, depending on the industry that you're in and the job that you fulfill. That means anything in your CV that's older than 3 or 4 years is irrelevant in your ability to contribute to your next job, or perhaps even secure your next job. So this mindset of continuous learning matters, where previously organizations put programs in place to develop professionals. I think as professionals, as individuals with ambition, we've got to develop our own sort of learning program. We've got to be curious to understand the environment we're operating in, to develop our fluency, and we're required to develop that technical skill. It speaks to an important type of professional that the world is looking for, and that's what I refer to as the hybrid professional. Someone that is equally capable in 2 or more technical skills. It's the doctor that understands artificial intelligence, the architect that understands IT, the engineer that understands automation. When it comes to technologies like artificial intelligence, there's generally a concern that the technology may replace jobs, and specifically my job or your job. The advice that I would give to anyone in that context is lean into it. I think the biggest risk that we face is choosing not to augment our capability by leveraging these technologies. And it's a very simple thing. If the environment in which you're working or competing is leveraging this technology to become more competitive and you don't, you become less competitive. So it's not the technology that disrupted you, it's people that are able to leverage the technology to augment their capability that has disrupted your role. So my advice is, I think, become curious, embrace the principles of fluency, think about your relevance and knowledge decay, and leverage the technology to do more better as opposed to less cheaper.